Welcome to the Jehovah Chronicles with your host, Cosmon Cal.
That's right. Right back with another one. This is part 2 of the culture series, Hip Hop and its Foundations. We're going to get right into it. Let's go.
Recent high school grads, you could earn a skill certificate or associate degree tuition-free with the new Community College Guarantee. There are no GPA or income requirements to qualify. Just fill out your FAFSA to apply. Get started at mi.gov/achievement.
With Asana, you can drive clarity and impact at scale.
Extending breakbeats did not start hip hop.
Stomp the beat, clap the hand, stomp the beat, God. If they're waiting for this particular break, and I have a couple more records that's got the same breakup in it, I wonder how would it be if I put them all together. And I told them, I said, I'm going to try something new tonight. I'm going to call it a merry-go-round.
Herc's merry-go-round meant that instead of playing whole records, he would play just the instrumental breaks, mixing between them to create a continuous dance rhythm.
Let me ask you, because you said it's more than hip-hop than just the breakbeat music.
Hip-hop is not just the music. Right. It's the culture.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so when you say hip-hop, yeah, it's hip-hop music, yes, but it's not hip-hop as a whole.
Right.
Okay, so because hip-hop involves the culture of it, not only the dress, not only the language, not only the style of it, not only, the politics of it.
Hip-hop is a culture, a way of life, a way of thinking.
Let me ask you, because you said it's more than hip-hop than just the breakbeat music. Did the breakbeats come first? Would you say the breakbeats is what made hip-hop? What would you say?
Well, I would say no. I would say that hip-hop started before the music.
Right.
Part of it, okay?
Right.
So we were more into how cool we could be,
right.
Our togetherness,
right.
Like just like right now, I'm here in front of this is my second building, 1085. So I was in the first section first. And that was my room, see, on the fourth floor. That was my apartment right there, 4G.
4G.
4G was my apartment right there.
Okay.
And I used to take a rope tied to the furnace, to the radiator, and climb out onto this roof right there.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
the nursery, yeah. And cut out. So,
just as a side note, look, they got air conditioner things in each window.
Our windows had the little thing like that.
Right,
And
push it out.
Push it out like that, you know.
Right.
But one thing I noticed though about here, and I said this on another interview, is look. All right.
Used to be benches there.
Yeah, all of those were benches on that side, benches here, benches come around that way. This was closed off, and this was grass, so the kids could play it in. You know, but if you look at this whole section, where the kids gonna play?
Right.
You know, this was a playground. Every building basically had a playground.
Okay.
You know, for the kids. They shared the playground with us here. You know, we had swings and slides and monkey bars and stuff. You know, so we shared over there. They shared the playground. You know, but everything, and then the benches were here so that we could watch the kids.
We had a culture.
Right.
And the culture looks exactly like what y'all call it hip hop.
So the break beats. So the break beats is not the end all of hip hop. The break beats is not what created hip hop.
Not at all. Not at all. The culture is what created hip hop.
Right.
Hip hop is a culture, a way of life, a way of thinking.
The culture is what created hip hop.
Right.
And so
the culture.
So when we were doing the break beats, if it wasn't for the culture, we wouldn't be able to get on the set.
Because you had to be down, and they used to have this saying, if you're not down, get the fuck from behind the ropes.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
In other words, Mario was already coming outside, all right? So by him letting us put these breaks on his turntables and doing it, that's what became the music of hip hop. You see what I'm saying? So it was bad enough when he would come out. People, just like how you hear the music now, people would come all over because the sound system was crazy. Another thing is too, yes, in the beginning of hip hop, Mario, no, not just one person had a set. It's like that now. Like I got a humongous Terror Dome set by myself now, but this is after years and years and years of collecting and getting stuff and doing it. And that's what my career is. I don't do nothing else but DJ. So back in the days, yeah, we had the piece of equipment. Somebody would buy speakers, somebody would buy the amps, somebody would buy one turntable, somebody would buy the other turntable. You know, this was in a project. This is the 70s. So it wasn't abundance of money like the way it is now. So that's why it was pieced together. But when it did get pieced together, bong, that's what the outcome was. That's what the sound system was. Anybody will tell you, anybody from back in the day say, yo, if Mario did a jam, you can hear Monroe. You can hear Westchester Avenue. You can hear you can hear it over.
Just like a little kid hear the ice cream truck and he run to go find it.
Right.
When we come out in the morning, we listen. We listen for the music and we follow it. And we follow it right over here to Mario.
You can hear Westchester Avenue. You can hear you can hear it over because in the park it echo. And that's just like when I just did this jam on Saturday. People would tell me, yo, man, I'm on Westchester Avenue. I hear it. People was over here. They heard it. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how we get down.
All right. So what about hip hop fashion? You, Green Eye, y'all always about hip hop fashion.
We was five. We had British Walkers. We had Playboys. We had Marshmallows. We had Rips. We had the Playboys. We had Hustlers. We had the Desert Boots. We had the AJ Lester motherfucking Quarterfield. We had the AJ Lester Montnecks. We had the AJs. We had the AJs.
You hear them?
We had the.
And I was bringing hip hop, the style, the music, the charisma, the diamonds. That was me.
Bronx Tale Day, you know what it is? The Muppet joints on. Yo, I keep it 100. Nobody has these. Nobody has these. They don't exist.
You, Green Eye, y'all always about hip hop fashion. So I don't know if if it carries over like it should, because I think a lot of people first impression of hip hop was Africa Bambaataa, Soul Sonic Force, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five, and they was dressed like Bootsy Collins. They was dressed like Paula Funkadelic.
Stick with me for 30 seconds and I'll show you the trading strategies that allowed me to quit my full-time job 2 years ago to design a life.
Or people in the village or whatever they was dressed like.
Because you gotta understand that's later on.
And that's people's first impression of hip hop.
Yeah, and that's what you
right.
see.
But that wasn't what the children in the street was wearing.
Right, exactly.
Are you ready for this? We're ready for this. Where we just can't miss. We just can't miss. Where we just can't miss. With a beat like this. It's the joint.
Rock the body, body, 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 rock the body, body. O-D-M-S-T-O-P, get up, shot, world, you see.
Right, exactly. So, in other words, well, I'm gonna tell you why Bam did the cosmic stuff, because Bam at the time was into Parliament and was into, stuff like that. But if you notice that's the time of like the second acid go round. You see what I'm saying? In the 60s, there was an acid go round. And then the later 70s, there was like an acid go round. Now, when I say acid, I mean like mescaline trips, mushroom trips and stuff like that. The psychedelic trip. You know what I'm saying? So being able to go to a different country and being able to get on these trips or whatever, that's what brought it on. That's one thing. Number two, when the other people got a hold and took advantage of us, that was one thing that made them feel like they were secure if they feminized us. Okay, so that homo, and I'm gonna just say it on the video, that homo thing went around. So I never did it. I never wore none of the boots, nothing. None of my crew never did none of that. Nothing. None of my crew never did none of that. You know what I'm saying? We've always been just like the way we are, British Walkers, and when we was DJing, Hustlers, Valleys, stuff like that, So we never got into that type of look. But if you look at it really now, it really looks gay. They had the tight leather pants on and the shirt cut here. Yeah. Oh man, that's some gay shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so we wasn't into that shit. And so that's a lot of reason too why a lot of us, the originators, we kind of like let that just go like ahead. When the crack era came in, it was different. It was different. We didn't get down like that. So that's why we're not etched in or whatever. And also, like I said on other things, back when we were doing it, we were totally protected. Just like my jam over there at Saturday, who was there? Black Spades was mad there. And so another thing too I want to say is that I heard a comment about the Black Spades being old senior citizens and having diabetes and everything. Listen, the same way any group gets older, there's always the younger generation following right behind them. So we still got baby spades now. We still got young spades now. You see what I'm saying? So it's just growing up. But the elders, you always gotta respect your elders. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be real with you, yo. Look at our elders. Look at Karate P. Karate P still do the same stuff he was doing back in the days. Yo, you know what I'm saying? I was just looking at my man Robert Jordan over there. Yo, he could still take his foot and put it straight up like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, don't get it twisted. Just because of age, don't think that you know that it's not a problem. It's always gonna be a problem. If you was there when you were younger, you're gonna be there when you're older.
Right.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
Right. So, you know, as far as going back to the fashion, you know, I've heard people say things like, and it could be true, I don't know, but they say like Run DMC is the one that brought the street fashion into hip hop.
No.
Well, I mean,
and like I said, Run DMC saw people doing that.
How would you like to collect 5-figure checks by helping foreclosure victims recover monies that are legally owed to them? I'm talking about people who've lost their homes due to falling behind on their property.
Bobbing in the hall, or just writing my name and graffiti on the wall. Whether playing ball or bobbing in the hall, or just writing my name and graffiti on the wall. Writing my name and graffiti on the wall.
I tell you right now, because Phase 1 was a big name.
No, Phase 2.
I mean, Phase 2, my bad, was a big name in the industry. So
well, it wasn't even. It wasn't the industry. It was really what it was graffiti.
Yeah.
All right. So when Lonnie did,
That was his name, Lonnie?
Lonnie had a job downtown as a messenger. So when he was doing his stuff, he could make a flyer. And so that's another big part of hip hop is when the flyers came out. See, before the flyers came out, we didn't have flyers. And that's where the whole controversy comes in. That's why people say 71. We were kids. We didn't have the flyers. So when people like Lonnie came out and Buddy Esquire came out, they were able to put these things on a flyer. And that's what happened. Just like
talking about that Spanish guy, the cop. He's ex-cop.
Buddy Esquire?
I don't know what I forgot his name. He's Spanish dude. There's only one Spanish dude taking pictures and flyers.
No, that's
Conzo.
You talking about?
He's a cop. There's only one guy.
Ain't his name Joe Conzo or something like that?
Joe Conzo.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but he was a firefighter. He wasn't a cop. He was a firefighter. Yeah, and Joe Conzo, he used to take the pictures, but even that, he'll tell you straight up, that was after like 74.
That was later.
75.
I think that was like 77, 78, 79.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we was doing it, that's where the whole misconception comes in at. Because the 71, number one, the most important thing about 71 was you couldn't come into Bronxdale.
Everybody couldn't come to the Dale, but the Dale came to everybody.
If you wasn't from Bronxdale, you could not come into Bronxdale.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of stuff couldn't get out. Now, like I said on many interviews, people did come that had connections with Bronxdale.
Right.
And so once they came in, because see, this was Black Spades territory. Period. This was Black Spades territory. And so if you did come in, you would take that, whatever that you saw, and then go elsewhere with it.
Right.
The reason why, and I'm going to be straight up, the reason why it got to be 74 and stuff is because people were scared to actually come and get it from the real source. They was scared to, because it was like, so it was scared to come to the source. So that's why a lot of it stuff. That's number one. Number two, we were too young. We were too young. That's just like everything happens in the like today. People create something and then somebody takes it over.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what happened.
Right.
People took it over, and the people that took it over were thinking about money. We were not thinking about money. We were thinking about having fun,
Right.
getting girls, doing the, doing the
more like a
thing.
culture.
Right. So, and that's what I was telling them. I said, so hip hop is not just the music; it's the culture. It's hip hop culture.
Right. Growing up, it was about the music. It was all about the culture.
It's about the culture.
We didn't even call it rap or MC. We just called it,
Right. Well,
have fun in the summertime. It was about the music. It was all about the culture.
It's about the culture.
We didn't even call it rap or MC. We just called it,
Well,
have fun in the summertime.
Everybody has these stories about how it got hip hop. How I knew it to be hip hop is from my man Lenny Robinson. He's one of the reasons, God bless his soul. He's one of the reasons why hip hop got the way it is now. What he did was, and this is, I swear you could ask Douglas, you could ask all the real beat masters. When I was a kid, that's all I did was study, was get records. And so that's how I learned how to play the drums. I get the records that had the breaks on it. So
Super Disco breaks.
Super Disco, all of that came, I was getting those records and did it. So that's what Lenny did. Lenny used to buy me a record and he would buy him 2 or 3 records. And then later on, by the time I went away or whatever, he put them on Ultimate Breakbeats.
Oh, Lenny got some.
Yeah, he's the one that did it. He's the founder. He's the founder of the Ultimate Breakbeat. And he got even his daughter tell you, she used to remember me going to his house right over there off of Buckner Boulevard where Corvettes is, and I used to be bringing him the records and getting him records and stuff and everything. So,
how did he clear them samples? A lot of them breakbeats are old.
Well, back in those days, yeah, you had to do it, but it was easy. He was a jazz collector already from the jump, so he already had those connections. So when he did it, when he did it, that's why on the breaks you'll hear a lot of them have the scratch in it. A lot of them have popcorn. A lot of them have the loop on it and everything. That's because he was getting them from.
I never heard them with the loop. This is straight up.
Nah,
the Ultimate
Breakbeat drummer. Oh yeah. Loop. Super sperm loop.
No, that's a straight solo. You had to loop it yourself.
It was if you have the original record by Sylvan Williams, right? It goes. Hello. Hey. Here, what you learned last night? And that's it. On the breakbeat, he goes. Hello. Hey, that's what the loop is. Now tell me that's not exactly how it goes.
No, but almost all breakbeats are like that. They always gave you
no, but the original doesn't loop.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what the problem is. Like I keep on telling
I never knew that.
Yeah, so it's all the original records, like Mickey Mouse Club. Mickey Mouse Club was this small. If y'all know about breaks, you could hardly see the break on Mickey Mouse Club, right?
So you're saying the Peach the President, that was a loop?
Another loop. It was a loop. You know what I'm saying? Because the original on the Alga yellow record, see, I'm a beat master, so you can't. There's no breaks. I got a house full right now.
I had every break. I had the Octopussy joints. I had the Ultimate Breakbeats. I had all them shit. A lot of people that had the Octopussy, they came out with like the breakbeat era, but the Octopussy, they was the first.
You ever heard of Please?
Please?
Yeah.
That's a record coming?
That's the truth. You ever heard of Bob Billy?
Yeah.
Dylan and Bob McLean?
I heard break beats. Yeah, I heard all the break beats. I used to collect. I used to go down to Music Factory, see that fat dude, Mr. Walt. Remember the George?
Yeah, but all of those, see, and that's another thing. People don't really understand how those records got there. The first record, the first people that did breaks on the wall was Downstairs Records. They was the first ones to put on the wall. And the reason why they put it on the wall is because of Lenny. Lenny and Benji. Benji used to say, yo, Phase, what should I get and play? So I said, yo, give me the record and I'll show you what the break is. But there's a lot of records that I show, like the cream beat to this day. Nobody got it. The cream. I wish I would have played some joints for you, but
Anyway. That was an Octopus or the Ultimate Break Beat? So it's just
either one. Nah, he didn't. Really didn't get to put cream on there because I didn't give it to him. And so he didn't get a chance to put a lot of stuff on there because I would not give it to him, you know, and because especially after that first value, and I knew he did it. There was another one before Ultimate Break Beats and before Super Disco Breaks. There was
There was Octopussy. The Octopussy.
Yeah. No, the Octopussy was Ultimate Break Beats. That's the ones that had the octopus on it.
Now, the Ultimate Break Beats, they copied off that Octopussy. They copied off the Octopus Break Beats. It was the Octopus, and then there's the Octopus Break Beats. I mean, there's the ultimate Break Beats, and the Octopussy.
The Ultimate Break Beats was the ones that Lenny made. The Ultimate Break Beats, right? That had an octopus on the first value.
Oh, the first value. Oh, okay.
Right.
Every value.
And then the next one had a B-boy painting on it or something like that. But anyway, and then they said, one of them said UBB.
That's the one with Funky Penguin and all that?
Yeah. So all of those records, like I said, was coming from, I'm going to tell you now, I can tell you because it's not there no more. But Parkchester used to have a store. There was 2 stores in Parkchester. I used to get the records from. There was a store right here on, what was it? I think it was Froze and Westchester. No. What's the where the post office is at?
Froze, Gleason, and Metcalf.
Yeah, there was Metcalf, right? So the one right in between Metcalf and that's Froze, right? Yeah, right across the street from the Hills. There used to be a record store there.
Yeah. What year was this?
This is like 71, 72. The record store been there like 66.
Patelli.
Yeah,
Patelli and Crow.
Yeah. And so those spots, whatever, they had those records. The reason why they had those records is because stores like Corvettes or whatever wouldn't be able to buy the shipment. So they would be buying the shipment. And so we had electric. I bought Apache and Corvette.
Oh, yeah.
Both volumes, the Sing Sing Sing, which is a Return of the Bongo Band, and Apache, the Incredible Bongo Band. I bought both of those in Corvettes.
Right. What year was this?
This was 70. I had it before everybody, so it was probably about like 74. 74.
I was before my time. I started DJing like in the mid 80s, early 80s, mid 80s.
Nah,
I used to go to Mr. Walt. What's that? Music Factory.
Yeah,
I think it took over after that because I used to go all of that downstairs.
Yeah. Well, downstairs is the original break beat store.
Yeah, but after a while,
Harmony was in Parkchester.
Yeah.
That was everybody that really knew what records was would go into Harmony and pull something out of Harmony. Because Harmony.
What year was this, Harmony?
Harmony started, I started collecting in Harmony at about 1970.
Oh, okay.
I was collecting in there. He'll show you, there's a picture of me when I was 5 years old holding a stack of James Brown records and all of that. All of this records.
Baby, I'm on now.
He'll show you, there's a picture of of me when I was 5 years old, holding a stack of James Brown records and all of that, all of those records. So I've been collecting for like as long as I can remember. You see what I'm saying? So it's like this, and that's like what I was telling him. You know, people don't understand that the culture of hip hop is not that just the break beats or whatever. It was that whole time and era of getting people to have fun. Basically, that's all it was. It's people to have fun. So when it became a marketing scheme, that's when everything. Look at it, look at what it brought to. If we had to just continue to having fun and wasn't thinking about it, it would be so much bigger, and so much better, so much. People would use hip hop for people to come together. You see what I'm saying?
The money to go to their, those types of functions.
Whether playing ball or bobbing in the hall, or just writing my name and graffiti on the wall. Writing my name and graffiti on the wall. Writing my name and graffiti on the wall.
All graffiti on its whole top. All graffiti on its whole top.
No, we need it so power. We got to have it so power. No, we want it.
We are discussing hip hop. What is hip hop? Hip hop is the behavior, the attitude, the character that creates rap, creates DJing, creates graffiti writing. This is what hip hop is. It is not graffiti writing. It is not rap. It is not DJing. It is not beatboxing. It is the attitude that produces these things. It is the attitude that produces these things. Hip hop is a way to be. And from that way to be, we get rap, DJing, graffiti writing, breaking, beatboxing, etc.
Yeah, what about breakdance, b-boy breakdance? Did hip hop start with b-boy breakdance?
It didn't. Of course, I just told you it didn't start with breakdancing.
Okay.
What happened was, see, you gotta understand this, and this is real. People decide that there's a certain part of the record where they can show off all they moves.
Right.
They can show off. There's only that little part of that record where they can show off their moves.
Right.
So they're waiting for the show off that move.
Right.
So if they're waiting for this particular break, and I have a couple more records that's got the same breakup in it.
Okay, now with breakdancing, you got to understand the spade dance was to, instead of fighting, to actually do something and then diss you in your face. That's a diss. If you could put your hand in somebody's face like that. Because see, back in the days, you put your hand in somebody's face, that's fighting words. You point at somebody like that, that's fighting. You fighting. You talk about somebody's moms, that's fighting. That's automatic fight, automatic beat down. So at that point, doing the dance means you ain't necessarily have to fight, but you still got your props, because after you did your moves and your moves were so bad and you dissed them, you pushed them, mushed them, and they whatever, then you had the respect. So that's what became breakdancing.
All right.
Okay, but the music was already there. The culture was already there.
So, okay, so let me rephrase it, right? Besides the spade dance, what the spades was doing and what the gangsters was doing, the focus of floor moves, like the b-boys. Like for instance, and I want to shout out all of the break dancers, the original break dancers from Trixie, the Sasa, Charlie Rock, the Zulu Kings, the Shaka Zulus, the Chuck City break dancers. I want to shout out all the original break dancers. But see, now they was focusing on floor moves. I don't know if the Spades and the gangsters, they was focused on floor moves, but at a certain time, the teenagers started dropping to the floor and doing floor moves. So, and I heard Charlie Rock say that that's what distinguished, B-boys is what distinguished hip-hop from disco.
B-boy music, break beats.
Right.
And that is the thing that distinguishes hip-hop, or what came to be known as hip-hop, from regular disco.
Right.
And that's an important distinction because the cats who were playing regular disco very specifically did not want to play b-boy music or break beats because that caters to a different crowd. You know, young cats, us. And they didn't want that crowd at their functions because the people that they, paid the money to go to their, those types of functions didn't want to be around us.
And that's cool. I agree with that 100%. And breakdance was great in a way because breakdance, I would say breakdance is probably the greatest hip-hop dance. What you think? And
I would definitely say that.
Breakdance.
But you gotta understand the generations of breakdance. Okay?
Right.
You must understand the generations of breakdance.
What do you mean?
So the stuff now, and I would say from the 80s to now, is a different breakdance than when it started. Okay? It's a total different breakdance.
Yeah, it evolved. To the linoleum and the cardboard, it evolved.
Okay, and yeah, but not even that. It took the definition of what it was meant for. So in other words, when you did a move, right? That move is going to the exact drum beat.
Right.
Okay? So this would be your bass drum. Boom. This would be your hi-hat or your snare drum. Okay? So those moves were going to the beat.
Okay.
It involved to the beat playing and you just doing moves. You just doing acrobats.
Right.
So where is the dancing break part of that dance?
Okay.
You could do that on any music. If you're not doing it to the beat, you could do that to just a straight, solid disco beat.
Okay.
You could do it, right? If you're just doing acrobat, if you're not doing it to the beat, so that takes away from break dancing.
Okay. So
you don't need a break to do that dance.
So, but we can't agree that breakdance is probably the greatest hip hop dance.
It is the greatest hip hop.
Right.
Well, just like you said, break dancing. I don't know what they call this shit now.
Right. Well, no, it's still around the world. Around the world, they do breakdance. And I think the reason why it lasted so long and why it was so great is because you can add so many different moves to it. Almost an infinite amount of moves, hundreds of different moves you can always add to breakdance. Like, for instance, like the Bismarck dance. You have to do that in a certain kind of way.
The Bismarck. The Bismarck.
You have to do that in a certain kind of way. The Bismarck, the WAP.
Remember the WAP, feet slide, shoulders drop. We did it in the cups, we even did it on the block.
You have to do that in a certain kind of way. But breakdance, you can keep adding so many different multiple moves to it.
Right. And I'm glad that you brought that. you brought that up. One of the first moves people don't talk about when you go onto the floor was called an umbrella move. The umbrella was a sweep in karate. Okay? So that's what the umbrella was. It was a sweep in karate.
So did breakdance start hip hop?
No.
Focus on no.
No, not at all.
The focus on floor moves. No.
No, not at all.
Get busy, y'all. Get busy, y'all. Brand new dance called the Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, the evidence that hip hop was before breakdance is Kool Herc. If you listen to Kool Herc's own words, Kool Herc said the teenagers, he said the party people was waiting for the break or waiting for the certain part of the song to start doing the dance. So that means that they was already dancing towards the break on the break before he started to extend the break beat.
Okay, that's not. So where's the flyers for that?
I'm watching the people dancing. A lot of people used to wait for some particular part of the records. I'm studying the floor. I was noticing people used to wait for them particular parts of the record to dance to, just to do that special little move. Because you could tell where the breaks are. It's a dark groove. And people used to wait some time for those particular parts of the record to come on.
So where's the flyers for that? Where are the flyers for the dance that Herc was talking about?
As far as the flyers, the party with Trixie. Trixie said he battled a guy from Bronx River.
They came and was fly like us.
Wallace D.
Yeah,
from Bronx River.
They was from Bronx River.
And they came
to Herc's party.
And that's what we're saying. See, like, it was never a beef between the river and the Dale. We were all together. We were down together. We come hang out in the Dale. They come to Bronx River and hang out with us.
And they came to Herc's party.
Okay.
As soon as dude getting down, so what's this dude? He's in my hood. Fuck, he's nice.
Wallace D.
Wallace D was nice.
So he said the kid from Bronx River came and showed him up. And
showed him up doing what?
Dancing,
Getting
the girls,
there you go.
getting the girls at the party. And you know that's so interesting as far as what Trixie said. Basically, Trixie agreed with Fat Mike. Fat Mike said,
every party we went to, we did not mess up. It's just that the women came our way, and the other people there and the boys didn't like it.
So that's why I didn't know Wallace D. I'm looking at this dude. He's got the circle, got the girls, got the circle, got the girls.
If the girls come to us, what can we do?
So hold on. I got to put a stop to this.
Fat Mike said, we used to go into parties and take over the parties, and the girls used to flock to them.
And that's exactly
what Trixie
said.
Right, and that's what Trixie said.
Right.
Perkins a party, and this dude from Bronx River, him and Wallace D. and Bosco, they brothers. And they were from Bronx River. They were from Bronx River.
The Dale and Bronx River were always down together. Always. We came to roll for them when they had people like CeeLo Mike.
Right. So now going back to the flyers, right? If you wasn't doing that and you don't see that on the flyers, how you know what the start is? Right. Because we were doing that exactly what. Oh man, I already said that on the video. How Mike said it on the video. You guys.
Right. So basically, Trixie verified what Fat Mike said.
Yeah.
You know, they used to go in the parties, take over the party, and your girls used to come flock to them, and then that sometimes and I got to shout out Trixie for not getting violent, for keeping it creative.
Okay.
So next thing you know, Herc put on James Brown's Stomp Your Feet, Clap Your Hands. And I went in. Next thing you know, I'm me and Wallace is at. Well, you know, I jumped over his head without touching his head or his shoulders. Came down, did a roll, came back up, turned around. Coke the Rock gave me my name, Trixie. That's how the whole thing started.
So shout out Trixie for keeping it creative.
Right, and that what I just told you earlier was because of the spades. The spades were stopping, not really stopping, but they were kind of waving against because they were doing it with each other.
We started fighting each other.
Started fighting each other.
Because every time we would have a meeting, we would hear it. You know, because I'm saying any gripes you had, you brought it to the meeting.
Okay. So instead of fighting your man, instead of beating up your man or whatever, you do this dance, and now you got the clout. Right. You got you know what I'm saying? And now this is another part that people don't understand. So does gear have to do with hip hop? You just answered that question. We were trying to get girls. Taking over the party is to get the girls. Right. You take over the thing to do that. You break dance or whatever to get the girls. So why wouldn't you be fly?
Let's look at my man Shazbo joints. They don't exist. Look at the toe tag. Let's get this out. Shazbo. You see what it is? Let's get it how you live. If you don't live like this, then fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I just do how I do it.
Hip hop is a way to be. And from that way to be, we get rap, DJ, graffiti writing, breaking, beatboxing, etc.
Why wouldn't you have to, just like I was telling you, like I switched clothes, and then he was asking, you was wondering what I was doing, because back in my days, right, you couldn't come outside looking bummy. You couldn't come outside looking like a Jamaican or a Puerto Rican on high waters. You couldn't do that because our people would say, yo, get back upstairs. Right. So we had to be grade this, grade this, grade that.
Bronxdale Day, you know what it is? The Muppet joints on.
No, we had to be gray hat, gray sneaks, gray whatever, or whatever color we had. Right. We had to do that. And that's hip hop. That's the hip hop culture.
Right. So just to put a cap on it, just for any, you know what I'm saying, anybody out there. First of all, Herc verified that hip hop basically was going on before he extended the break. And the proof of it is when Herc said that the teenagers, they was already doing their dance routines during the breaks.
Right.
I'm watching the people dancing. A lot of people used to wait for some particular part of the record. I'm studying the floor. I was noticing people used to wait for them particular parts of the record. The dance too does to do that special little move. I was noticing people used to wait for them particular parts of the record. The dance too does to do that special little move.
The teenagers, they was already doing their dance routines during the breaks.
Right.
That's what he saw. That's what he analyzed. That's what he saw.
But listen.
So hip hop was already going on before he extended the breaks.
But remember, the enthusiasts said no, because there was no hip hop before then. There was no hip hop. And if that's in 73 and they were already doing it.
Right.
Bunch of clowns, yo. A bunch of clowns. All right, these flyer enthusiasts or whatever, right? What are they going to say when it comes to saying, okay, hip hop was doing this? What are they going to say was the jams hip hop? And one of the clowns said it. Oh, that's just park jams. Idiot. That's where hip hop started from. Park jams, outside, street.
Right.
Ding
that's the question. You don't know, FaZe. Now this is deep. This is deep, right? Park jams. Now, that's a good subject. Where did hip hop start? Because see, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad I spoke to shout out Coke LaRock. Coke LaRock verified that Kool Herc was not really outside in park jams that much. The DJs over here was more in the park, in the projects. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
But we got out of that kind of quickly after Cedar Park.
You said y'all left that kind of quick.
Because to me, Cedar Park was dark. I played there once. I didn't like Cedar Park because it was too dark. And I knew the stick-up kids would tear you up. So when we got down to Cedar Park, like I said, I played once.
the first night. Herc played there maybe 3 more times, and the second 2 times I heard, cats got robbed. They trampled and knocked the fence down.
Wow.
That's why they left Cedar Park.
Coca Rock verified. Coca Rock said it was only a few times, a handful of times, that they played in Cedar and Cedric or Cedar Park or whatever. He said most of the time they was in the nightclubs, the Twilight Zone, the Hevalo, the Executive Playhouse. That was mostly in the nightclubs, mostly, right?
There you go. Same way you had a lot of ballrooms in here. You had the Burnside Manor, you had the Savoy Manor, you had fucking the Parkside Plaza. The Bronx was full of fucking spots that held events.
So, hip hop didn't start in nightclubs. And on top of that, you would have to say hip hop started in the wintertime. Now, is this his first party?
It's his first party.
In August?
No, this is in the wintertime.
Wintertime, okay. In the wintertime in nightclubs. That's what Trixie say. The party happened. He did what he did in the wintertime.
Right.
And Kool Herc was in the nightclubs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. And not only that, another thing is. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's walk back up there now. You take a couple pictures of the ground. That's all we had. This whole project was full of karate fighters. Full of fighters. So you wasn't gonna roll up and take nobody equipment. So we were outside with our equipment. We were outside doing it. Outside. So for all those that say the hip hop started in the club, wrong.
That's the question. And that, you know what, FaZe? That's a subject because
this thing called hip hop that the West Side created.
Then I moved to the West Side when I was like in the 6th grade.
Then I moved to the West Side.
And that's how I met Herc on the West Side.
This thing called hip hop that the West Side created.
Right.
Wrong.
Right. That's the question. And that, you know what, FaZe? That's a subject because for those who want to say Kool Herc started, well, hip hop started with Kool Herc and Coca Rock and all that. But see, right. If
they weren't
outside. They weren't right. They wasn't outside, and not only that, that was basically a working class, middle class environment.
Because on that part of town, to me, a lot of people was working. So a lot of working class people, like my mother, I wasn't allowed to be in a gang. I wasn't allowed to wear a dungaree jacket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the structure was different. Just like a lot of people over there, their fathers and mothers had money.
Hip hop begins in immense poverty.
That was basically a working class, middle class environment. Right. So basically you're saying that poor children or not so affluent children copied what the middle class children was doing.
We didn't live in the ghetto because I don't believe we all live in it. It's a name. They just call it a ghetto because we're black, Puerto Rican. No. Middle class, black man, young.
That was basically a working class, middle class environment. Right. So basically you're saying that poor children or not so affluent children copied what the middle class children was doing. And that's very rare in history. We know usually it's the more poor children who invent things.
Hip hop begins in immense poverty. What is hip hop? Hip hop is the behavior, the attitude, the character that creates rap. Creates DJing, creates graffiti writing. Hip hop is a way to be. And from that way to be, we get rap, DJing, graffiti writing, breaking, beatboxing, etc. This is what hip hop is. It is not graffiti writing. It is not rap. It is not DJing. It is not beatboxing. It is the attitude that produces these things. Hip hop begins in immense poverty.
They're so busy saying that it's not true, When the proof comes that it is true, they can't understand it. When earlier times, people thought that the world was flat and you could just run off the world and jump and fall into space or whatever. Right? So, in that time, if you went and told them, no, Earth is round and it revolves and that's why, you'll end up in this, whatever, they'll say, "Get the hell out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know." But then, when the proof came, those are the same people that say, "Oh no, I've been said that. I've been said that."
Yeah, you know, and that's another point that you bring up. That's going to have to be handled in hip hop. People's first impression.
Right.
A lot of times, your first impression is hard to shake. People stay with their first impressions. If your first impression was that Kool Herc started hip hop, it might be hard to shake that when you start learning the truth, learning more about it.
Right.
And the thing is, you know.
Exactly. And so, you know, so what kills me is that somebody could read something and it's false. And the person that tells the truth about it, they'll call a liar.
Right. Yeah. Be like this. Yeah.
The person that's actually telling the truth about the situation is called a liar because they read the lie.
Right. Shout out to Kool Herc. I don't know if you would agree, but I would say Kool Herc took hip hop to another level. I would say Kool Herc maybe even revolutionized hip hop, changed it, but not Kool Herc by itself. And that's what I'm learning. Coke La Rock had a lot to do with what happened with Kool, you know, at the Kool Herc parties.
You know,
not Kool Herc by itself, but Coke La Rock and Kool Herc revolutionized.
Okay, I wouldn't say revolutionize it. I would say took it to a different level. Okay, took it to a different level. Yes, that's just like with anything. If you join something and you bring something else to it or whatever, then that enhances it. So because you're joining something, you're joining something that's already done and do it. So I would say that. But one thing I gotta say is Coke La Rock is an older gentleman.
Right.
I know him good. And the things that Coke La Rock brought to Herc, I would give Coke La Rock more credit than Herc.
He said he introduced Herc to the streets.
Yeah, I was like, yo, that's my partner. Leave that alone, man. You respect me, you gonna respect him. So I introduced him to the street, man. No disrespect to him. That's Herc, that's my partner, but that's how we roll.
You know what they used to call Herc?
What?
Lurch.
And at school, I was playing very aggressive basketball. And, you know, this guy, people started putting nicknames on me. Lurch, Cyclops, Samson.
Lurch. That was his name. You know, Herc, I love you and everything. You know I love you. But when he came from Jamaica, he was Jamaican.
Okay.
He was tall, lurchy, wore high waters and everything.
But I didn't have the hip clothes. I had on the hick clothes. I had on the aviator hat that you pull over your ears and the flip up top. I had the wide corduroy jacket on. I looked straight like a hick.
So, Coke La Rock was here already.
Right.
So he knew the styles.
Right.
I wore Pumas. I wore all flavor Pumas, just the same way, dressing, looking. I shopped at AJ Lester's. I wore G Money clothes.
He knew the music.
Right.
He knew the what kids wanted, what people wanted. He knew that.
Right.
So coming from Jamaica to here was a total shock.
Right. He called himself a hick. Herc also did an interview saying that when he first got to the United States, he was dressing like a hick. He wasn't dressing the hip clothes. He was dressed like a hick.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so
Jamaican.
how did he go from a hick? Did you, like you said, you was wearing different flavor Pumas?
Yes.
You was a G Money man.
I was AJ Lester.
Did you show him how to dress?
I can't say showed him, but I took him where to go.
Oh, you took him where to go?
I took him where to go, and I pointed out, look, I got this. You go get it. Or I took him with me.
So, because now I've seen him with dashikis. He's not like hip hop style no more at all.
No, he kind of stayed more as culture, Hurts Jamaican. That's why he wear that.
Okay, right.
You know, but.
Right. So he went back to his culture.
Yeah, he went back to his culture. Right. When he was with me, I had him dressing. He was wearing Mr. Tony's, Mr. Ori's, right. AJ Lester's. I even had him. He had a Caesar one time.
Yeah, because I heard Trixie saying they was dressing like that
yeah,
too.
Yeah. You
so
know, they was close to it.
So y'all showed him how to dress.
Listen, again, you had to look a certain way.
And then that's when he started meeting the gangsters around town.
Yeah, of course, because that's who came to see me, Coke around.
He called himself a hick.
All right. It was a total shock.
Right.
So, like I said, Coke was already here.
Right.
Coke was already, established as far as doing what he used to do and stuff like that.
You know.
Hold up. This is the part that makes me feel so bad. So I would think if that happened the way that it happened, then instead of just being one name,
right,
it would be two names.
It was partners. It should be.
And that's not it.
Right.
Finances and Pink Persuasion made one person say, I want it all for myself.
I'm the founding father. I'm the inventor. Nobody else stand on that platform with me.
And then Coke Rock is to the side.
You know what Coke Rock said?
Yo, Coke, I love you.
Shout out Coke Rock.
So, shout out Coke Rock. You know what it is.
Coke Rock said that when Herc started doing the interviews.
It ain't a hate thing. You know what it is with me? Nobody thought I would stand up because Herc did so much on his own.
What you mean so much on his own?
He didn't have me with him.
Okay.
So, cats like with this getting royalty.
You saying in the millennium.
Right.
When he started.
Yes, when he started getting
known and spreading himself around. Right.
Y'all didn't.
He didn't bring you.
Y'all didn't see me.
The father of hip hop, the one and only Mr. Cool DJ Kool Herc. How you doing, sir?
Peace, man. I'm chilling, man. I'm the founding father. I'm the inventor. Nobody else stand on that platform with me.
Around the millennium, early millennium, Kool Herc started doing the interviews and everything. He didn't bring them with him.
It started before the millennium.
Okay. Well,
because you got to understand, listen, the 90s is 30 years ago.
Right.
Biggie and Tupac was around in the 90s.
Right.
So these interviews started happening in the 80s.
Okay, yeah, interviews. But, back when Biggie and Tupac was around, I don't remember any fathers of hip hop.
Yeah.
I don't really remember that.
Yeah.
You remember that? Fathers of hip hop?
Yeah.
But definitely not in Just Ice days. Going way back, it was no fathers of hip hop.
Yeah, at the end in the 80s, yeah. Just Ice was the end in the 80s.
Yeah, but he didn't say father of hip hop.
Yeah, he did. One of the records he did.
For all the pioneers.
Yeah, Kool Herc, then Bam.
Yeah, but he didn't say he's the father of. He gave props to all the pioneers.
For all the pioneers.
Going way back, but like I said, I don't want to get into that one.
Yeah.
You already know, but how I feel about that. But as I said it before, we're talking about me and you want to go to the beginning, not second generation, not third generation, not fourth generation, none of that. We want to be at the first generation. And so that's where the problem comes in at, because it makes sense to, just like you showed me the thing where KRS-One had to go, KRS-One, Ahmed, Bambaataa, and Crazy Legs.
That's why Crazy Legs caused this meeting between ourselves here, Ahmed, KRS-One, Africa Bambaataa, Crazy Legs, to begin a discussion about what should hip hop's history be now that we've lived it for 40 years and we know that there were more players involved than just Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, and Flash?
KRS-One, Ahmed, Bambaataa, and Crazy Legs had to come back on the video and say that they were wrong about the hip hop history.
Right.
That they were wrong.
Because some of what was said even to me was wrong.
Okay, so now, if they were wrong, they were learning it from people that was telling the story wrong.
Right. Right.
You understand that?
Yeah.
They were learning it from the people that was telling the story wrong.
Right.
And so now, those same people are the ones that they're going back in history and learning from. The people that said it wrong. And so now you can't tell them that it was wrong because that's all they know is what the wrong thing that they got, people.
Right.
That's why I'm so passionate about it. Because you're getting the wrong information and you're passing on the wrong information.
Right.
And so now, because you hear the true information, you can't believe it because all you know is the wrong information.
Right. Well, you know, Kool Herc focused on the breaks.
First, he focused on James Brown.
Kool Herc focused on the breaks. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, and I would say
okay, I gotta stop you there because he focused on the breaks because of why? Because of what he seen was doing.
Right, what he seen the children was into.
If they're waiting for this particular break, and I have a couple more records that's got the same breakup in it, I wonder how would it be if I put them all together.
He saw the children already dancing during the break.
All right, so
right. But he revolutionized it in the point that they brought it to the nightclub.
Yeah, Herc battled P.T.2 Jones at the Executive Playhouse. And this is what people always realize. It was that early. That's when Pete owned disco. Pete tore everything up. Pete was controlling the brothers. But you have to have shoes on. This is what cats again fail to realize. We made it popular for cats to wear sneakers.
You had to have shoes to get in nightclubs.
And who were at nightclubs?
I guess older people.
There you go.
Right. But
so
listen,
that cancels everything out right there.
They didn't start it. That keyword is start. They didn't start the hip hop movement, but they revolutionized it in a sense of bringing it to nightclubs, and you come in with sneakers.
No, you know what they did?
What?
They brought it to the people that could make money off of it.
Right, that too. Well, Bambaataa did that. Bambaataa in the Village and all that stuff. He did that. You know, Kool Herc was rocking them nightclubs and that's a very important thing for the hip hop audience to understand.
Bam, I think, is the person who is most responsible for spreading the culture worldwide.
Right.
And for the crossover of the culture. Because Bam and the Zulu Nation.
Different races.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
He was really first with stuff going down into the Village. And this was like early 80s. So he's going down in the Village and Danceteria, the Grills, and these are all Village clubs.
Bambaataa did that. Bambaataa in the Village and all that stuff. He did that. You know, Kool Herc was rocking them nightclubs and that's a very important thing for the hip hop audience to understand. Coke LaRock and Kool Herc was really not out in the park like that. You know, like a lot. It wasn't out in the park a lot like that. And that should be known in hip hop. One other thing about as far as hip hop history being rewritten correctly, the park jams, that became synonymous with hip hop beginnings.
Yeah. Mary used to have something they call, I think they called 21 Days of Summer. Like when he would come out in this park and he would have a permit, permission to come out here and play in this park every day throughout the summer for a whole month straight.
y'all somehow get the credit for that, but y'all really wasn't in the parks that much. It was Mario and them was parks.
Yeah, no, they stayed in the park. I
Parks
agree.
heavy, right.
Okay, no.
So shouldn't they get that credit as far as the early hip hop park jams?
I agree.
Okay.
Like I said again, I don't take the credit to feel like Herc did everything where guys ain't know. You know what I'm saying? We all really played a role.
Hip hop was set out in the dark. They used to do it out in the park.
That's part 2 of the culture series, hip hop at its foundations. We just gonna keep banging them out. Be looking forward to part 2 of the Antiquity Unveiled, and we'll be coming with some more fire lessons. As always, I just need you to breathe in, let that light in, because I'm Cosma, and I'm out.
And oh yeah, put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh, it's that Japheth, that Chow Mein, that Papa Bull, that Tao Mein, since sun south in the Arc of Wayne. My brain moving like Tao Sang, so ass above, it's so below. That up and that down thing, this flow is atmospheric. I call that a ground game. See, water is knowledge, so if I'm teaching, you're learning. So how your God make a sun without vortexing current? See the pattern is ponic, I'm reaching out for my people. Oh, watch me flow through your speakers, you feel the force of the equals. And when the force hit the equal, I'm taking off like an eagle. Police popped the pastor yesterday for pushing put equal. My DNA is Moshe. Mix that thing with higher water. My spirit rate is OTN. It's just a higher order. Got more light than Kavita. Rap a lot just like Tila. Went from sinner to saint. Shout out my big homie Seela. Got more torque than a sports car. Got more work than a door star. In the 4 million I make, I'm giving the Dr. Umar. Oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Super 7 in my rites and ceremonies. I'm married to Jehovah, holy matrimony. Confucius say, in the words of Caillou, before you hit the tomb, be a bridegroom. Only got one question for Miss Susan B. On how to last Ahu when it's now a Angui. Blame my inspiration, I'm just thinking thoughts. But in the way of God's, we gon' keep it short. Why Jesus wanna kill me, Matthew 10:34. Just a couple questions that I'm needing to know. Oh, watch me flow, it's so potent. Set the vortex in motion. Super 7, I'm floating across the Aegean Ocean. Oh, you a Muslim now, so I guess you making salat. Well, I'm an Israelite, I'ma make him at the Shabbat. Got Moses on the bumper, super slap off in my spaceship photosphere. So I stay lit, peace and light to the faith is so yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied